18th. Mike Felger here at the Palatial Estate in the Metro West of the Boston area. Jermaine Wiggins coming to us on location. Where you at, Wiggy?
I'm on the left coast, baby.
Okay.
L.A.
Want to tell us why, or just want to leave it mysterious?
My kid's got a tournament out here in L.A. for the Adidas Gauntlet. My 15-year-old. So we out here on the west side trying to see if we could dig up some dirt on Tupac.
Okay. So you got a big athlete there in the family. That's good to know. Again, Fan Cred right here brings you Jabroni Talk, not only on the app now, but you can now watch on fancredsports.com. We're on the web. So you can watch us on the web at fancredsports.com. If you want to interact, which you can by hitting the fan line in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, you have to download the app for face-to-face live action here via the fan line. We are once again brought to you by a sponsor, Original Grain, the watch company that makes these great watches. Wiggy's wearing it right now. I've got mine as well. Hold on. It's refitted from real wood from Fenway Park in 1946. This is a special edition. They made 325 of these. They just sold out of that special Red Sox edition, made, again, from the 46 Fenway Park wood seats. But they will have more Red Sox stuff coming out. They have different washes from different teams. They are a great product, a great company, originalgrain.com. If you enter your email, they will let you know when watches are available. So again, go to originalgrain.com/Red Sox, enter your email, and when they come up with the new limited edition, they will let you know, and you can check these out. They really are sort of a special souvenir gift item. All right, let's get to it. Next 25, 30 minutes, mostly Patriots here with Jermaine Wiggins. We do know there's breaking news with the NBA and Kawhi Leonard and maybe a Marcus Smart deal coming for the Celtics. We'll get to that as well, but I want to start with yesterday's news that Rob Gronkowski will report to the Patriots. Wiggy, what do you make of that?
I like it. I think when you look at Gronk, though, the question I have is that tells me then they see him. They must have a big contract coming down the pipeline, because you don't report, especially when you're a guy who's in a situation right now where you want a new contract. You do not report and say you're going to be at training camp when the only leverage you got is holding out. You know, you look at Le'Veon Bell and what he's already said. So I think that tells me they must have something coming down the pipeline with Gronk and a new contract.
Let me ask you this, Wiggy. What if the Patriots are saying there's no new contract, but if you hold out, enjoy Cleveland because your ass is traded? Is there any way the Patriots could be leveraging Gronkowski with a trade if he doesn't report? And is that how they're getting him into the fold?
Well, guess what? If I'm wrong, if I'm Gronkowski and they tell me that, then I'm going to pack my clothes and I'm going to Cleveland. Because
you don't think you would do that?
I mean, when you think about it, if you only got a few years in the league to make pay dirt, when you're in a position like Gronk is in right now, especially when he sees like Brandon Cooks just get that money, he's got to be thinking to himself like, yo, I got to get paid. And so if he says, if they're telling him, if you hold out, we're sending you to Cleveland, guess what? Cleveland's going to give him a deal. He's already won Super Bowls. So if I'm Gronkowski and I'm in his camp, then I'm like, yo, I'm not coming. Send me to Cleveland. I want my money, because I don't know how long I got left, because we've seen Gronk's injury history. So send me to Cleveland. I guess what? I might not enjoy playing there, but I'll enjoy putting that check in the bank every 2 weeks.
So you think he's thinking that it's just about the last dime for him right now? It's the last dollar on the table.
Oh, of course, because he knows this is his last contract. He knows this is it. And he knows right now, when you look at Gronk, to me, he's the best player in the National Football League other than a quarterback. When you look at guys that you have to game plan for, there's no player like him. And he realizes that he's more valuable than any wide receiver in the league.
Okay. All right. But this is a point where I'm with the team. I'm sorry he's not a receiver, Wiggy. You can't pay him like a receiver. If you want to be paid like a receiver, be faster, play on the outside, and be a receiver. You can't. That's not the team's responsibility to play him out of position. I don't blame the team on that one. If he wants to be the highest paid tight end, that's fair. If he wants to be paid like those top-end receivers, sorry. You want to be paid like a receiver, play receiver.
But see, the thing about it is we don't know if he wants to be paid. He's not said he wants to be paid like Antonio Brown. He might just be saying, I want to be the highest paid tight end. I want $11, $12 million a year. And when you look at that number, to me, the tight end position, what's he making? $8, $9 million somewhere? $9 million. So he's saying, hey, listen, get me to about $12 million. I'm still making less than the receiver position, but I'm still doing all the things that are way more valuable than the receiver position. And he's got to set the market. I think it's good for him. If I was a young tight end in the league, or if I'm watching this and I have the potential to be in Gronk's position, I'm like, dude, hold out. Set that bar high. I'm
hearing you, but I don't think the team should pay him like a receiver. For more on this, let's go to Jeff Howe. He writes for The Athletic, covered the Patriots for a long time here, mostly for the Herald, but now is with The Athletic. He joins us on the fan line. Maybe we'll get the latest here on Rob Gronkowski. Training camp starts a week from tomorrow, and Rob Gronkowski reportedly will be there. What do you think the latest is, Jeff?
I think it's probably status quo. I mean, I reported, probably 6 weeks ago at this point, that it was under the appearance that Gronk will play the upcoming season under new contract terms, just because of the amount of progress that they've made. So I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet. I can't tell you why it hasn't been executed yet at this point. But, I mean, just listening to you guys the last few minutes, I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I think when Gronk sat down with Belichick right after that weird monster press conference and then, a few days after that, I don't know, but my speculation has always been Belichick said, look, you got to cut this crap out. We'll play ball here with the contracts, but you can't be, doing all this other stuff on the side and not committing to the team. And if you're in, I'll be in. But if you're, 1 foot out, whatever, then I'm not going to give you a new deal because, back it up just even more. Gronk signed the highest contract ever for a tight end back in 2012. The Patriots were willing to make that sacrifice at the beginning part of the deal. When he signed that, everybody in the world, including Gronk, knew that that was a deal that was going to help him out at the first half of it. And then post-2016, this was going to be a Patriots-friendly deal. So if you're angry about the contract, it's on you for getting to this point, for signing such a long-term deal. So that's why I think both sides need to at least reach some middle ground. And by Gronk reporting on time to camp, he is still holding up his end of the bargain. Yeah. And I would still be shocked if it didn't happen.
Hold on, Jeff, but you can't say that it's Gronk signed this contract knowing what was going to be at the end of the contract, because you see so many players sign deals and they backload those contracts of players, and then when players get to those later on years and they want their money, teams are like, nah, we're not paying you that type of money. So I think what Gronk did and what any smart players do, get your money in the beginning, and then when we get to them later years, see where we're at. And Gronk is, arguably, he's the best tight end in the league right now. So he's thinking, you know what? I know I signed that deal, but it's time to rip this up and give me new money.
Yeah, no doubt about that. But on the other side of it, he didn't play a good chunk of the first half of that contract because of the injuries. And it's not like the Patriots moved on from him. And, I mean, if you want to get into, like, this greater philosophical debate over the players getting screwed by the contract statuses of the NFL, then that's a whole different topic of conversation. But, I mean, again, this is about two sides just reaching common ground. And I think the shenanigans from earlier in the offseason are behind Gronk because the finish line is so close in sight for him to getting this new deal.
All right, so you think he gets a new deal. Do you think if he doesn't, he still reports?
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm surprised it's taken this long, and I don't know why, the optimism was so strong earlier in the offseason that whatever the case is, why ever they haven't gotten it yet, I don't know, but I would be shocked if he didn't play under new terms, even if it's just an incentive-laden type of situation that he had last year, just tacking it on top of the $9 million in cash he's due in 2018.
Jeff, quickly, 30 seconds or less. You think Brady gets his new deal?
I'm not as optimistic about that happening as I was earlier in the offseason. And that was, again, mostly a gut instinct. I don't know what's going on with the contract negotiations there, if there are any, because nothing has really changed over the last month. This was Brady kind of hoping the other side, the team, would be the ones to initiate that. And then Robert Kraft told me a couple months ago that if Brady had an issue with the deal, then the Patriots would take care of him. So I think it's just two sides waiting to say, hey, you know what? If you want a deal, you got to make that first move. And I don't know if either side has made that move yet.
Okay, Jeff, thanks so much for taking the time on what looks like your vacation. We appreciate it. Very fancy location, it looks like.
Looks like
a backyard here.
Attaboy. All right. Well, yeah. Have you happened to seen speaking of Tom Brady, his beach photo the other day? TMZ snapped it. It was posted today.
Yes.
We can't run it right here, but it's all over the internet, folks, if you haven't seen it. Tom Brady with green bathing trunks in Costa Rica. Some people have looked at that picture and said, a little doughy or a little. Some people look at that and go, that's
some people.
How do you feel? Let me finish the question.
It's stupid, man. Listen, this dude, he is a quarterback. And when you look at Tom Brady, it's not like he's chiseled and he's shredded out of his mind. This guy's a quarterback. He's been the best quarterback in the league for, almost a decade now. He's kind of looked the same. He's kind of changed his body but he's never been that guy that's had this unbelievable body. He's never been one that's been ripped up when you take his shirt off and you're like, wow, look at Tom Brady. I mean, that's nonsense. That's for people like yourself, Felger, looking for something. Is he doughy? I mean, come on now. He's in Costa Rica with his wife. They're having a great time. Is he doughy? Let me see you take your shirt off. I bet you look a little doughy.
It's better than it was. And I was just about to do it, but I'm not going to. But it's better than it was. I'm also 48, not 40. And I'm not a professional athlete, so you don't think he might have gained a pound?
No, he's fine. Look, what's he doing?
I didn't say he's not fine. I said, did he gain a pound? Maybe two.
If he did, I don't care if he gained 5 pounds. Can he get back there, read the defense, throw the football, and go out there and do that? That's all I need him to do. It's not like he's a lineman that you go, oh, my God, this guy put on 25, 30 pounds, or a running back, kind of like, we saw with Lacey in Green Bay. It's like, what, Jesus, what have you been doing the whole offseason? Just hitting up buffets? I'm not worried about that. That's nonsense that all you media guys are looking to try to find with Brady.
Well, he also is in Costa Rica, and he's not in Montana with the boys going through the route tree, which he has in the last couple of years. So, again, put on half a pound, and he's on the beach, and he's not throwing the football around.
Wasn't he just in Montana, though? Wasn't he just in Montana a couple weeks ago?
Well, so maybe he was. Maybe I missed that. I thought he was.
When he did his Instagram with the beer?
Maybe I'm late on the social media crap. I don't keep up on it. So did he bring his teammates out there? Was he throwing around with the guys?
I mean, I don't know, but he was in Montana, and I'm betting if he was out there, I bet there was a couple guys out there he was throwing the football with. So
okay, so I don't know that if that happened, then forgive me. I'm just, again, there's been a certain narrative here this offseason, which obviously you reject.
Yeah, because I've been around it before, and I understand what people are thinking at, but I think people are just looking for something because of all the rumors and all that stuff that was being talked about with Brady, Belichick, Guerrero. So now everybody's looking for something. So Brady doesn't show up. He says, I want to spend more time with the family. Now all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, did he put on an extra 2 pounds? Why is he in Costa Rica? Why isn't he throwing the football? They're looking for everything. Bottom line is, come the start of training camp, Brady won't miss a beat. Belichick will be on the same page with Tom, and it will be business as usual.
Wiggy, I'll take off my shirt if you take off yours.
Listen, buddy, anytime.
Let's do it.
All right.
No, I was joking.
Oh, you said it.
Oh, Jesus. You're freaking scary, dude. Look at that.
You said it, buddy. Listen, I've been back in the gym. I'm trying to drop a couple LPs, get back to my playing weight, just in case Gronk does go down and they need a tight end to come in there.
How did Brady look there on the boot? He was a little doughy. Let's bring in another guest. Here's the next guest. I think it may have been like anytime Brady's got his shirt off. This is one of these guys who I don't know what he's doing when he's looking at the picture. It's Fitzy. It's Nick Stevens. He used to do Patriots pre and post with us on Comcast Sports at NBC Sports Boston. Nick Stevens joins us next on the fan line. How'd you feel about Brady's physique there, Nick?
How did I feel about Brady's physique? Just like my shirt right here. Beautiful pliability. And that's exactly what Brady needs to maintain at all times. Listen, you know what? Let's go back. Show me shirtless Joe Montana when he was
right.
Oh, that's right. He was playing golf. Show me shirtless Johnny United. Hottest Brazilian worth $500 million in the world. Show me shirtless Peyton Manning. You know what? Actually, I'll pass on shirtless Peyton Manning. I don't need Tom Brady to have the body of Julian Edelman. I don't chiseled like Dwayne Johnson or the second greatest tight end in the history of the Patriots, Jermaine Wiggins. Thank you for your 10 for 85 in the Snowball, brother. Listen, I just need Tom Brady to be as relaxed and calm as possible before he gets into the season, Felger. All right, so what? Maybe he's out in Montana and he's screaming, let's go! Get another soft serve. All right? He's taking his time with his bae. and that's all that matters. I need him ready for
Okay, Nick. So now you want him relaxed and calm and all this. What happened to no days off and the hardest working guy in the league? Like, so guys like you have just totally flipped the narrative. We used to celebrate all the hard work and the grind, and now it's all about time with your family and taking it easy. So which is it? Whatever he does, I guess. It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah, you just said it, actually. He can do anything that he wants at this point because none of us can question any. Tom Brady owes the Patriots. He owes Patriots Nation. He owes the world nothing at this point. I don't think what does Brady need to tell all of us? That he's taking a little extra time, that he wants to, be with his kids, or that, he's concerned about his mortality. I'll tell you this, Felger, in the battle of Tom versus time, I know time is under, but my money's on somebody else. All right.
Okay, Nick, we'll let you go. Your internet connection sucks too, by the way.
Wait,
but
let me see if I can fix it up there for you. Listen, I have absolutely no concerns that Brady will be ready for the season.
I'm sure you don't. Nick, we're going to let you go because your connection's off there. So, I mean, that's no way to do a talk show. That's all I know. If you all want to sit around and whip it out and play with your little fan, conversations, that's fine. But that you can't do a talk show that way. So do we celebrate the hard work and the day in, day out grind, or do we not? Like, and whatever Brady decides, then there's no, I'm going to shut it down. There's no point in doing a talk show.
Yeah, but I don't understand this whole narrative of yours, Felger, where he's not committed. See, that's the kind of bullshit that makes me that like rubs me the wrong way. Just because you don't see this guy going to OTAs, who's now at 41 years old.
We used to celebrate him going to OTAs, Wiggy.
Right, but
he got the parking spot. Now the parking spot doesn't matter. That's not
that though. Like you said, every player evolves and changes as they get older. So just because he's not going there now, nonsense. No, you're the fraud because it's now like, okay, Brady's not at OTAs. Now he's no longer committed. So he takes a picture on the beach. You're making it sound like this guy hasn't picked up a football and done anything. That's the nonsense of idiots like yourself. Listen, the guy's in a different position right now. So he doesn't do the things that he did 5 years ago. But guess what? He doesn't have to, because as long as he goes out there and puts this team in a position where they'll be right back in the playoffs, they'll be right back in the AFC Championship and right back in the Super Bowl. Like you said, when you could complain about him not being there on OTAs is when the Pats go 8-8. Until then, shut your mouth.
I just don't know why people would ever listen to your commentary or Nick Stevens' commentary, where it doesn't matter if Tom Brady's there every day. It doesn't matter if he's in Costa Rica every day. It doesn't matter if he's running around naked down the street with his wiener wagging all over the place. He's doing the right thing. So what's the point? We know what you're going to say. It's just that useless. Let's grab a guest. Robbie in Vermont. Robbie in Vermont joins us next. Good listener here on Jabroni Talk. You all can join us by hitting the fan line in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Robbie, what do you got for us when you're up there?
There we go.
Go ahead, Robbie.
So I'm wondering what Le'Veon Bell turning down the contract, which I think is absolutely absurd. But what does that do for Patriots players like Brady and Gronk holding out?
Well, I think when I look the Le'Veon Bell contract thing. I mean, the guy turned down 5 years, $70 million. You got to understand how players think. Players operate like this. A guy like Le'Veon Bell he counts as 30% of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Then he sees a guy like Brandon Cooks go out there and get $80 million. What's he get? $50 million guaranteed. And then you think Le'Veon Bell's going to say, listen, I'm one of the best players in the league, not just running back, and you want me to take this amount of money? And that's when you see players like Rob Gronkowski. I don't know what Brady's looking at, but these guys that they're the best players in the league, and they see other guys getting this money. Of course, they're like, time to rip up this contract and put some new money on the table.
I mean, I'm just thinking at over $15 million a year. That's at what? Devontae Freeman's the next highest at just a touch over 8.
Right, but don't look at the contract as a whole. Always look at the guaranteed money. That's the biggest thing. Like I think who was it? Kirk Cousins did it the best, right? What he sign a 4-year, $80 million all guaranteed. That's the way you look at it. Don't look at, okay, guy signs a 5-year, $120 million, but only gets $50 million guaranteed. And then everybody goes, well, let's do the math on that. That's, 20 plus million. No, look at the money that's guaranteed. And that's the most important thing.
Okay, I want to tell people again that we are sponsored. The Jabroni Talk here is sponsored by Original Grain. Original Grain just made 325 limited edition Red Sox watches made from the 1946 Fenway Park wood seats, the actual reclaimed wood seats from Fenway Park in 1946. They sold out last week after we debuted them here. Part of your prize pack, you also get that great little bracelet there that we
bracelet
from reclaimed Fenway wood from 1946. They tell us they're going to release a small batch of new Red Sox watches next week. Okay, so there's a new batch coming. You go to originalgrain.com/Red Sox, put your email address in there, and they'll let you know when the watches are available. Not typically a watch guy, but this thing is legit. As we told you, they handed out 4 demo copies a couple weeks ago. The 4 people to get them: John Henry, owner of the Red Sox, Matt Damon, movie star, Wiggy, and me. What doesn't make sense? Either way, check them out. Originalgrain.com. We get to some Celtics thoughts here, and it's the 5 questions with Wiggy, unless we have another caller here, Cam. I don't know if we have one. Steve from Carver is ready. He'll join us next. And again, folks, you have to download the app to talk to us on the fan line in the upper right-hand corner. Otherwise, you can just watch on FancredSports.com or, I guess, elsewhere on the web. But Stephen Carver, what do you got?
Felger, I think it's important. I agree with you that the Patriots are using the leverage that Gronk should be at training camp for him to get the next contract because it came from Schefter. That's Belichick's camp. It wasn't Drew Rosenhaus, who is always Gronkowski. That's his agent, I think. So if it was Gronkowski's family and him leaking the information he's going to be at camp, it wouldn't have come from Schefter. So I think this is a play, like you mentioned, for the Patriots to try to use this as leverage to say, Gronk, if you want a contract, you better be here in a week or 2 weeks or whenever training camp starts. He better be there day one. So that's what I think the Patriots are using it as leverage.
Steve, thanks for the call. I sort of hope, and I think Gronkowski's hugely important to the team, and I want him to get his money. I'm not rooting against him, but I don't blame the team for exerting their leverage, because if a player is going to talk about retirement, Wiggy, then how committed should the team be? And if the player is going to roll around and doing these motocross events and all the other nonsense that he's been doing the last couple of years, I don't blame the team for saying, listen, if you want more money on a bigger contract, you can't talk about retirement. You can't be rolling around like you're rolling around. Show up. You take care of us. We'll take care of you. And if you don't want to, then fine. Enjoy Cleveland. And I just wonder if that's what's going on.
You got to understand, though, right? That's all fine and dandy to say, but how many players have we seen show up, fall in line, do everything the team asked them to do, and still don't get their new contract? I always side with the players when it comes to getting that contract, when it comes to money, when it comes to holding out. I think, listen, when you're the player right now, you hold the leverage. I don't care what anybody says. The Patriots don't hold the leverage. Rob Gronkowski holds that leverage because he knows what type of player he is. And if they don't want to pay him his money, he holds out. They then trade him. He gets his money. At the end of the day, if you're the player, you have to strike when the iron's hot. And when you're in a position, we talked about this some years back with Wes Welker. Remember? Hey, hold out, do this, do that. But he wanted to be the good soldier. He wanted to do everything he was supposed to do. How'd that pay out for him at the end? He got nothing.
Okay, let me ask you, here's Brett in the comments. He wrote, is Brady doing this, meaning, sort of taking his foot off the throttle? I think that's fair. Is he doing this because of what Belichick did last year in the Super Bowl with Malcolm Butler? Is there fallout there, do you think, with the Butler decision and Brady and Gronk and all this other stuff?
No. The only reason why we're talking about this is because this is the narrative that you guys push. Guys like yourself who go, oh, he's not committed because he's not at OTAs, right? So now people think, oh, is there a fallout? Is there a problem? Is there an issue? No, there's no problem. There's no issue. What we saw is like, okay, when you've been in a relationship that long with two people, and you're Brady, you're Belichick, yeah, you're gonna knock heads on certain things. But him not showing up, he's seeing the end of the road at the tunnel, 3-4 years. So he's like, you know what? I'm still going to go out there and do what I do. But, I might not go to all these OTAs. And I think that's now, if he didn't show up for training camp, Now you got it. Now we got an issue that we got to settle.
No, probably not. You guys like you and Nick Stevens will say, it doesn't matter. He's been in the league forever. He gets to do it. He can do whatever he wants. He knows he's going to be ready for whatever he does. You guys are going to be okay with. So don't even start.
Hey, Felger, you might be right, but at the end of the day, as long as he performs well and he gets his team back in the Super Bowl, you think we're going to be sitting here and 6-7 months down the road and going, hey, what about those OTAs? No.
Let's get to 6-7 months down the road when we get there. Today is today. We're going to wrap it up with 5 questions with Wiggy. There might be 6 or 7 here by the end of the day, but this is how we wrap it up every single time. If you want to ask Wiggy anything, he's got an opinion on everything. Most of them are wrong. You can, again, hit the fan line in the upper right-hand corner. Ask him whatever you want. Marcus Smart, reportedly today, is close to signing with the Celtics. Wiggy, for 4 years, between $46 and $50 million. How do you feel about that if you're the Celtics or you're a Celtics fan?
4 years, I'll take about $40 million is about as high as I'll go with him. I think people have overrated him as a player. I mean, I think, he's a great defender, but he only plays on one end of the court. He gives you energy, that kind of thing. But you can find a guy that can maybe do that, might not do as well, but I'm not paying this guy $12, $13, $14 million a year to go out there and score 2 points. Nah, not doing it. You got to get buckets.
Okay, he doesn't like the deal. Second question. Kawhi Leonard to the Raptors for DeMar DeRozan and a package, but the chief, the key ingredients are DeMar DeRozan and a protected first-round pick. I think it's like top 20 protected or something like that. Should the Celtics have done more to get Kawhi Leonard, what would have been your offer? I mean, it doesn't feel like that's that hard to beat. Yeah,
I would have offered up Jaylen Brown and some draft picks. I mean, I think when you're looking at Kawhi Leonard, I would have definitely – I like Jaylen Brown as a player, but to me, if you can bring a guy like Kawhi in, he plays alongside Kyrie and Gordon Hayward, they're able to kind of, by the end of the year, get him to buy in. He gets to the NBA Finals and says, you know what? I like playing in Boston. Now I want to re-sign here. To me, that would have been your potential big three, would have been Kawhi Leonard, Kyrie Irving, Gordon Hayward, Jason Tatum. I like that. So if I'm Danny, I would have did more. I didn't buy that whole thing where no starter was all the starters were off limit. Jaylen Brown, I would have offered him up for Kawhi Leonard all day long.
Question 3, fill in the blank. The Red Sox season is a failure if
they don't win the World Series.
Really? Getting to the World Series this season is a failure.
Getting to the World Series, I would say, at least getting there.
Okay, so we brought you down immediately.
You brought me down a little bit. I mean, getting to the World Series, but just making the postseason, no, that's a failure. If they get to the ALCS, to me, I think that's still a failure. They have to get to the World Series because I think they're the best team in baseball. So get to the World Series. If you don't win it, all right, I can live with it, but at least get there.
Okay, a couple of questions from the app, from the FanCred app. Ryan asks, what position are the Patriots the weakest at?
Right now, for me, it's pass rushing. Can you look at the Patriots? Where have they struggled for? It seems like forever since you and I have been talking Patriots, it's always been they have no pass rush. And I want to know who are going to be those guys that are going to step up, whether they're outside linebackers, whether they're defensive ends, guys that are consistently going to be pass rushers and get after the quarterback.
Okay, question 5. I told you we more than 5 today. Another one from the app. Ben says, Wiggy, thoughts on Saquon Barkley? Did I pronounce that right? The running back there, drafted 2 overall. Thoughts on Saquon Barkley's thighs? Where are they on the chocolate and thick scale? You talk chocolate and thick with men like you do with women?
No, I don't. Not at all. But he's got some quads on him. Now, I tell you, he got some tree trunks on his legs. That boy got some quadzillas.
So you do like him when it comes to your women, chocolate and thick, correct?
That is right. My chocolate and thick, she's back there laying down. She don't want to get on camera.
That's fine. So she's number 1 on your list. Who's number 2 on the chocolate and thick list worldwide? Who's like a good, good movie star? Give us an example of chocolate and thick other than your lovely.
Who's chocolate and thick other than worldwide, globally? Sanaa?
Lathan?
Yeah.
Yeah, you like Sanaa Lathan.
I like Sanaa Lathan. It's just that her thumbs, her thumbs skeeve me out. She got toe thumbs, but she's got a nice.
Okay, so I never heard of that person.
Oh God.
She's chocolate and thick, but she's got weird thumbs.
She got weird like the toe thumbs.
How do you like know that? Are her thumbs featured prominently in her work?
If you see her in movies, Nicki Minaj. There you go.
Okay.
She's a little.
All right.
She's a little extra thick, but
That's chocolate and thick. Fine.
That's somebody that you know. I'm trying to come up with the most mainstream person that you would know.
Yeah, you know me, Wiggy.
You like them vanilla and thin.
Real quick, I do like them vanilla and thin. I do, or chocolate and thin. I just like them thin. I don't care the flavor. I just need them fit. Andrew, like fan line. Andrew is in Connecticut. He's going to ask you one. Andrew, again, ask Wiggy anything. As you can tell, he's got an opinion on anything. As soon as he pops up, he'll ask the question. Then we got the word on the street, and we're out.
No doubt.
We got to get going. Andrew, go ahead.
What's going on, guys? Well, Felger, great questions as always, but I can take it from here. Just wanted to ask the question that everyone wants to know for you, Wiggy, and that is, as a Bruins fan, I want to test your loyalty. So let's see if PK Subban, Donald Brashear, Dustin Bufflin, Seth Jones, Kyle Okposo, and Ryan Reeves all go to the Canadiens tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you switching allegiances? I just want to know.
What?
No, I'm still rooting for the Bruins, but I will still support them as players. Which, hey, listen, the Bruins missed out. They missed out on Tavares. I still say make a play for Wayne Simmons.
What do all those players have in common, folks?
They're great hockey players. That's it. They're just great hockey players.
Wiggy text page of the week. It's the word on the street. He writes me a text page as he would write one of his friends, and I try and decipher because, as maybe you can tell, I have a little bit of a different vernacular. Wiggy writes this week. Yo, if hit you wit, W-I-T, dat, if hit you wit dat, hashtag in my feelings, you gonna be about that life. Question mark, question mark, question mark. And so it's my job to translate. I have no idea what that means.
All right, so I'm going to help you out on this one. So there's been this thing that Drake's been going around. It's called the In My Feelings Challenge. And I said, Felger, if you about that life, I'm going to hit you with it and see if you're going to do it. You know the In My Feelings Challenge?
I don't.
It's a little dance that I'm going to play this for you.
And we're supposed to do it.
Yes. So go ahead and do it.
No fucking way. No shot. No shot. You almost got my shirt off. I ain't freaking doing that stuff. I mean,
you're not going to try it?
If I take a look, maybe next week, but I ain't going to do that. Let me see you do it. Come on, Wiggy. This is your. On that note, we're out. We'll see everybody next week for Jabroni Talk. Bye.
Exactly.